Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Cathrin, the creator of Thecontentbug, and I'm here to help you follow your passion by growing your audience online. Now, if you watched my last video, we actually talked about Tailwind Tribes. I did a little cook with me segment. I just wanted to try something different while also being super productive because I need to get a video up for you guys. But I was talking mainly about Tailwind Tribes and if I think they're worth it, and Tailwind and the benefits and all of that fun stuff. But I ended up getting a great comment in that video asking about how do you know if you're in the right Tailwind Tribes or what Tailwind Tribes to join. So I figured I would shoot a video real quick, get this up for you guys, answering that question because I think everyone kind of needs to know this, and I'm just going to share the strategies that I use for myself as well as my clients to make sure that everyone is getting the maximum amount of repins by using Tailwind Tribe. So let's go ahead and get into this video. If you have been using Tailwind for a while, then you may be grandfathered into some of the settings that they have rolled out over the last, I think, just year, honestly. They came out with Tailwind Tribes and they came out with Smart Loop. And anyone that was using Tailwind prior to those coming out, you ended up being grandfathered in and you got free access to more tribes, more submissions to your tribes, as well as the Smart Loop feature before anyone else. So anyone that signs up to Tailwind now, I think you get access to 5 free Tailwind tribes. They come with your Tailwind membership. And then I think you only get 30 submissions a month. That could be wrong, but I think it's 30. I am grandfathered in, so I get 10 Tailwind Tribes, and I get access to 80 pins that I can submit to those Tailwind Tribes every single month. You can, of course, level up and you can add more Tailwind Tribes if you want to power up, or you can add more pins if you want to pin more pins to your Tailwind Tribes. That is always an option to you, but you have limited access to how many tribes you can join. Compared to group boards, you can join as many group boards as you want. You can have 100 group boards, but with Tailwind Tribes, you need to be a bit specific, and that's why it's so important to make sure that you are a part of the right Tailwind Tribes, because if you only have access to 5 Tailwind Tribes and one of them is just a waste of your time, you're not getting any repins, that's not good for you and it's not helping your blog grow. So how do you find the right Tailwind Tribes? This hair is gonna drive me insane. What is it doing? I can't tell. When you go to look for Tailwind Tribes, there are a few things that I look for. The first thing is the number of people that are actually in the Tailwind Tribe. I think it comes up as members. If there are only like 20 people in a Tailwind Tribe, I won't join it. If there are 50 people in a Tailwind Tribe, I might consider it, but I look for Tailwind Tribes that have over 100 people in it because that increases your chances of people actually sharing your pins that you pinned the tribe. Now, before you even look at the people, I should have said this first. You need to make sure that you are joining Tailwind Tribes that are actually relevant to your niche, to the content that you create. If I was to join like an essential oils Tailwind Tribe or something like that, that would make zero sense because most of my content that I share on Tailwind is the content from my blog, which is all about digital marketing. So I can join boards about blogging, entrepreneurship, SEO, and stuff like that. Those would be relevant to my niche. So you want to make sure that you're actually joining tribes that are relevant to your niche, or you can join those generic tribes, but I have to say the ones that are more specific to your niche, you're going to end up getting better results because those people are looking to share niche specific topics as well. So we talked about the topic of the board, we talked about the people in the board. The next thing I look at is the activity level. So right when you are finding a tribe, they do show you your activity level, and I think it's a bar scale that goes up to 5 bars. It's kind of like raising the bar, and you can look at that and see how active the tribe is. So how often are people actually pinning to it? How many times are people actually repinning from it? That kind of stuff is based off of, that activity level is based off of that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure that the tribe is active. If you see that it only has 3 bars, I gotta say, I don't join those tribes. I only join tribes that have 4 bars or 5 bars. They need to be up there in activity because I want to make sure that people are actually actively sharing to them. I don't want to be the only person sharing to them because then I'm not going to generate repins and it's just not worth my time. The other cool feature that you can do when you are looking for Tailwind Tribes is you can actually preview the tribe. So one thing that I really like to look at is how many repins or reshares were generated through that tribe. And I like to have around 20,000 reshares generated through that tribe as a whole in order for me to join it. If I notice that only like 50 shares were generated through that tribe, I will not join it because that's not going to be beneficial to me. I have some tribes that are upwards of, I think, I'm gonna actually plaster them all on the screen right here so you can go ahead and see how active my tribes are. I like my tribes to be very, very active. Some of them aren't as active as others, but that is because they're very niche specific. So I'm a part of one tribe that is called Small Business, and that is only for entrepreneurship or business tips and blogging tips and stuff like that. And I end up actually getting a lot of reshares from that board because it's very niche specific and it works with the content that I share. So when you are actually looking for Tailwind Tribes on the Tailwind platform, those are the things that you really need to look for. Now, another strategy that you can do is you can go to Pinterest and just search Tailwind Tribes to join, or just search honestly Tailwind Tribes, and I'm sure there are blog posts on Pinterest that you can go ahead and check out from fashion bloggers, maybe food bloggers, maybe from blogging bloggers that are sharing some of the Tailwind Tribes that they think are worth it to join. If you have no idea where to get started, I would take other people's recommendations. Then what you have to do when you are in Tailwind Tribes for a little while, you really need to pay attention to how many pins you are actually getting, or how many repins you are actually getting per pin. I like to check mine every week because I update my Tailwind schedule. I schedule my week's worth of pins every single week. Sometimes it's every other week, but most times it is every week. And when I do that, I go and I check my statistics and I see if the pins that I shared that week are performing well. If I see, like, it comes up with a little pop-up at top and it will say like how many reshares you have generated recently. If I see that it's only generated one reshare, I really check that out and I'm like, okay, if I am not generating any repins, that's not very good for me. I like to see when it's like 10 plus reshares up there, honestly, but it just depends on the week and what content I shared, and if I didn't share any content, then it's only old content that is getting repins, so you need to pay attention to that. But they also give you the statistic on how your content is performing. So underneath how the tribe is performing, where you need to check out to see how many repins the tribe is actually generating as a whole, you get to see how many repins and shares you have actually gotten from your pins shared to that tribe. So you definitely want to check that out. And when I look at that, I honestly look at what ones are performing the best and what ones are performing the worst. If my worst ones have only generated 20 reshares over, let's say, 3-4 months or something, then I would have to reevaluate and I would probably leave that tribe. As of right now, I am actually pretty happy with my tribes that I have a part of. I did, before this video, I reviewed them because I told myself in the last video that I really need to review my tribe, so I did review them, and I'm actually really happy with where I'm at right now. If anything changes in the future and if any of my pins end up not getting as many repins, I will reevaluate again. I think I'm going to make it a part of like a quarterly strategy for myself as well as my clients to make sure that we are all getting a good amount of repins for our pins that we are sharing to Tailwind Tribes, to make sure that it is worth it. So you want to make sure that you are consistently generating repins. If you notice that you have been sitting around like 200 repins for a couple of months and your newest pins aren't getting repins, you can go ahead and leave that tribe. It doesn't matter if you have 100 pins submitted to that tribe. Sadly, they will be removed from that tribe, but you already have those repins generated. People have already shared that pin on their Pinterest profile, so you've already gotten that visibility, and you can go ahead and join a new tribe at any time you want. Now, what happens if you join a tribe and you decide, heck, this actually isn't the right tribe for me? You can always leave it, no questions asked, and you can go ahead and join a new tribe as long as you are within the allotted amount of Tailwind Tribes that you can join, or if you power up, you can always join more tribes. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what Tailwind Tribes you are a part of and what Tailwind Tribes you really enjoy. If you have any other questions about Tailwind Tribes, just let me know. I do have a full section in the TCB vault talking about Pinterest if that is something you are interested in. But for now, I am going to go, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys!